RMP against LSD. We've already seen these teams fight, waiting for dampening, taking the win earlier on in the winners bracket. Let's see if they can do it again here on the Grand Arena in the losers bracket semifinals.
Yep, one thing, just setting up these team names. They have gone with all different names of the actual players. So once we're in here, if you can run through those real quick.
That is going to be Zipai on the top left on the Elemental Shaman, Minpoike on the center left, Resto Druid, and Walrix on the bottom left, Affliction Warlock. So they are the Welcome to EU team going up against Waiting for Dampening with Hynix, renamed Donska, playing the Frost Mage, Knees on the Holy Priest, and Miro on the Subtlety Rogue.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to say the actual names this time as we move out here. I'm going to follow Miro a little bit because he's been pretty key for their opener. When he can get that sap off, it's been a big deal, but they're still playing super defensively with this Shroud here. The gateway does come down for Welcome to EU, and we're going to see if Miro is going to be able to get over here and get that sap off. There are a bunch of AoEs coming out. Rain of Fire, Earthquake, just doing what they can. Almost gets hit by that one. Looks like he just barely made it out of there. And he will try to go for the sap. Yeah, he did actually get a sap there for a second. It's broken right away. Looks like they're going to go on... Oh, no, he's still in stealth. They've pulled back a little bit. There we go. Going on to Walrix there. Trying to do as much damage as they can. The opener seems like, though, that Welcome to EU has actually made their way through it this far.
Hynix actually blocked out of that Hex. Maybe very questionable because they weren't able to connect on that full blind. It seemed like they waited too long to block aggressively there. So he's not going to have that available, and he's already taking an incredible amount of damage. They've been to about half HP. The Lava Bursts are flying in. As I say that, though, Zipai taking a lot of damage. The Guardian was actually blown there onto Hynix. Definitely very scared for him to live there. The Smoke Bomb coming out to Zipai, though. He's in a lot of trouble. Nice Tranquility with Heart of the Wild, though. Going to heal through that. The Sham Rage coming up here, I believe. Minpoike into that Deep Freeze Ring. A Fear onto Walrix. So Zipai in a lot of danger here. He's going to get the Tremor off. But the Frozen Orb coming out. Zipai gets the Sham Rage up. He's taking a lot of damage, though. Knees in a Fear. Miro in a Fear. He should be able to live, though. And MCS on Minpoike. He's dipping to about 250,000 HP here. Minpoike should be able to pick him up here. He's going to get that NS clone onto Knees, though. They want to turn the pressure around onto Hynix, who is in the middle of the map as we speak. Spamming those polymorphs out onto Walrix, just trying to get him locked down as they peel back to this pillar to get a reset.
Yeah, and Zipai getting a whole bunch of Chain Lightnings there, just building up his Fulmination stacks as much as possible. He's going to drop down that Earthquake as well, just to try and keep Miro from getting into stealth. Miro taking a whole bunch of damage back here, sitting in the healing circle there. You should be mostly fine, spamming Feint as much as possible. Actually gets rooted out over here, out of that healing circle. Could be in a little bit of trouble, but Hynix taking a whole lot of damage as well. He's going to have to blink back over here. Does he have a block? Yes, it does look like... No, excuse me, he's got 1 minute left on his block. He's not going to be able to use that, so definitely scary situation. This whole team is just rotting so hard right now. Knees in a Cyclone. Miro once again in trouble, dipping down super low, getting below 100k there for a second. Knees looks like he is now trying as best he can to heal them back up. Hynix in a full Hex as well.
Yeah, the entire RMP kind of rotting back here as Walrix kind of takes the aggressive stance, pushing in here, trying to get the Fears landed. A nice defensive ring coming down here, but he gets counterspelled. Good counterspell by Walrix there. But just the damage seems to be slowing down quite a bit here. There's no more crowd control in the Knees. A nice mass root though on a Miro. It's going to lock him down, but Hynix gets that Ring of Frost. He's going to blink in and defreeze, but he's going to get the full poly on him in Poike. Walrix in a bit of trouble here. He's pushed up very aggressively. He's spamming those Fears on a Hynix, so really locking down his damage here. But Miro doing a lot of damage with those Shadow Blades. He's trying to get something rolling onto Zipai. The Frozen Orb coming out. 300,000 HP here. Will he be able to recover with that Ironbark Sonaring Ward? I believe he will. Knees in a full Fear though. Miro in a full clone. Donska gets the MCS. He's going to be taking a lot of damage though. He got locked on that polymorph. He might just go down here. And he does. The LSD with the endless amount of lava burst there. He just kills him outright.
Yeah, he still had 30 seconds on his block at that point, so unfortunately for them, they didn't really get that good opener that they've been hoping for, and it seems like that's kind of, they really, especially against this team, they really need that strong opener. They need to be able to put at least a ton of damage into somebody, even if they don't necessarily get the full kill. They need to just be able to hurt someone really hard in that opener, and they weren't quite able to put that off. Welcome to EU just played against it incredibly well. Even that early ice block to cancel out of the blind, I think you said it was. Just being as careful as possible, playing super defensively at the start, and it paid off for him.
Yeah, the RMP definitely very disorganized in their opener there. There was a full blind on him in Poike, but Hynix decided to sit in the Hex for about half of its duration before blocking it. So not only did he give up his defensive cooldown, he didn't use it in coordination with that full blind. I really feel like if he was going to block like that, which in that situation it is okay, I think, for him to do, because they have so much crowd control. There's not going to be a lot of damage incoming on him early, but he just took too long. It was miscommunicated. Miro wanted to be aggressive, but Hynix wanted to sit into the Hex. So I think there might have been a bit of a miscommunication there, and it ended up costing them the opener. So we're going to have to see if they're going to be able to get through that in this next match. Hopefully they don't let the defeat get to them too much here mentally, so they can keep playing, because they've been playing well this entire tournament. I'd hate for that to be affecting them here in the semifinals.
Yeah, for sure. They've been battling super hard, and they've actually beat Welcome to EU before, but it's entirely that was yesterday. Today is today. So the LSD of Welcome to EU, they may have just figured out how to survive through that.
I just queued the wrong arenas. My apologies. Wrong
right.
arena here.
So we're gonna cancel out of this match and get the correct one going here.
My mistake here. My apologies. I don't want to add to the pressure, and I think I accidentally did. We will be moving on to Tiger's Peak. My mistake there. Let me just try to re-queue these teams. I think we have to wait for that active game to go down, though.
Yeah, quite possibly. So we do have a minute here. So in that last matchup, in that last match, Welcome to EU able to deal with that opener. I'm like you were saying, it seemed like the RMP was kind of disorganized. Maybe somebody thought it was they were going to go. Maybe it seemed like Miro was trying to get back out of combat and he was in stealth still. So it seemed like he was trying to get away, be able to get off another sap and open on somebody else. So I definitely don't feel like we saw the best opener that we could out of the RMP there. So Welcome to EU shouldn't feel too comfortable with how they played that last matchup. It definitely felt more like the RMP just sort of screwed that up a whole lot. And it's entirely possible that Welcome to EU can still live through it, but they just didn't see the full might of the fully armed and operational RMP that time.
Yeah, I definitely think that first win the RMP pulled off in the winner's bracket was due to the fact that Minpoke got found at an inopportune time that Zeepai was sapped. Of course, Zeepai doesn't want to trinket a sap against RMP. So if they can somehow find him, that option is available, but it seems like their kill target's going to have to be Zeepai or Walrix if they are unable to find Minpoke in stealth. So hopefully they can just synergize a little bit better than like they usually do, because the opener in that last game definitely felt a lot more disjointed, because they should play very aggressive, in my opinion, against this comp in the opener. So as long as they can communicate that well and use other defensive cooldowns like Guardian and Life Swap, so if that Ice Block gets used for crowd control, he still has a way to live. But it's important to know as we start here that Walrix is going to be running at Soul Link. He won't have Dark Bargain available, possibly a kill target here as a result. But we're going to have to see what the RMP decides to do here in stealth. Of course, I'm following Miro in the Shroud, pushing up about halfway. The Rain of Fires are coming out, as well as the Earthquakes. Will they be able to pull them out? Because this opener is very, very important for the RMP. They have to get a sap. They need to get a good opener, or it's going to be completely disoriented as it was previously. The healing stream being put down preemptively here. He gets sapped. He's going to get garroted, I believe, here. Smoke bomb on the Ring of Frost. A nice smoke bomb here. It's going to lock him down in place here. He's taking just an incredible amount of damage. Shamanistic Rage isn't enough. He's just going to die through it. Maybe 200,000 HP, 150,000 HP. He might just go down in the opener. A Shadow Fury. He's going to go down.
And that's that RMP opener that they so desperately need to be able to take games off of these guys. The smoke bomb, the ring of frost, just everything going all at once there is just too much to be able to live through in that situation. So Zeepai just gets completely annihilated in that opener.
Yeah, definitely a show of strength there. I really liked that smoke bomb ring. What it did is it locked Walrix down. He had to walk into it and unbound Will into another CC. So, and Minpoke as well wasn't able to save him. The Heart of the Wild Tranquility getting off too late, and it wasn't significant enough. They killed him through Shamanistic Rage, Ironbark, and Cenarian Ward as well. So that was definitely much more damage than expected.
Yeah.
I don't think that was what anyone was perceiving would happen. But we can see once again that the RMP is completely capable of that one-shot execute in the opener.
Yeah, so that's going to bring it to a 1-1 between Welcome to EU and Waiting for Dampening here. I like their name so much. They don't even wait for they don't wait for anything. They just go in and murder somebody, and that's how they seem to win. That's going to make it 1-1 though. Both teams are still in the money. It's just they're basically fighting in this one next match here over 300 euro. So that's a good amount of money for American viewers. That's a little over $400 that you win, if just extra that you get in this next match if you're able to take it.
Yep, and the map has been decided by the LSD. They're going to be picking Runes of Lordaeron. Obviously, they're going to get that guaranteed gateway. They're also going to have a bit of a safety net in that room, causing Knees, the Holy Priest, to have to push out. But if they can get that Smoke Bomb Ring of Frost, you know, as much as it was a gimmick, it was really well executed, and it worked for them. So if they're going to be able to get that off again, they could just as easily take this game, because they killed him through everything. He literally died through every defensive cooldown that was available to him. He even had healing stream down preemptively. Obviously, it faded possibly halfway through that opener. I'm not completely aware of that, but he had Shamrage up. He had Ironbark. He had Snaring Ward. Minpoke had Heart of the Wild up with Tranquility. It just wasn't enough. There was so much damage. So if this RMP can, you know, once again, play excellently as they have been the entire tournament, just stay back, get that sap, and play the game that they know how to play, and I've seen them play, they could pull this off.
Yeah, literally the only other thing I can think of that could maybe have been down, and I don't think it was, is like a preemptive healing rain, but I don't even know that would have been enough to make a difference. So we're going to follow Miro out here again. It seems to be all about what Miro does at the start here. Can he get the sap off? There's the Shroud going out. They are playing, sitting back quite a bit. Like you were saying, Runes of Lordaeron, this map does allow them a little bit more of a safety net there, in that they've just got that tiny little opening that Miro's going to have to work through. And it definitely is going to be extremely difficult for him to be able to get this opener off. And with, you know, 300 euros on the line, why not? Like, take every single advantage that you possibly can. So they're going to be extremely careful here. Miro now coming in with that burst of speed. Looks like he's going to try and get the sap off. He does get the sap off there onto Zeepai. Are they going to follow up on it? No, it looks like they're just going to hang back. Just let him sit there and think about what he's done, and move back.
Yeah, what they've got to be aware of is Minpoke disorienting Roar from stealth. If he's going to be able to get that off, it's going to completely negate the opener. But the invis coming out from Donska now, sorry, Hynix, he's going to be pushing out with that. Let's see if they can get in here and do anything. Hynix actually has full icicles almost. I'm not sure where he actually got those from, but he does have full icicles at this moment in time. He's throwing the ring down. This looks like a repeat, man. A cheap shot on the Zeepai. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Heart of the Wild blown instantly. Minpoke not wasting any time this game, but they're going to swap it onto Walrix. Walrix taking so much damage. He's got the healing cooldowns up, but is it enough? He's gonna spam those fears onto Miro. Hynix blocking offensively there. He's not gonna have that available, but the Shadow Blade's just fading. I think he's gonna be able to recover here. They're gonna gateway out of the room. They should be able to recover, but Miro choosing to vanish. He's gonna pursue. He's in hot pursuit. Zeepai in a lot of trouble here. Ironbark is not available. Or it is available. Sorry, he's dipping to about half HP. A full blind on Minpoke. He's choosing to sit that. I'm not sure if that's the best decision, but it seems to be working for him for now. But a full poly out of that. Miro kind of in a lot of trouble here with Knees on the full fear into a Shadow Fury, but Miro gets the restealth. He's spamming that feint. He should be okay for now. I think both teams are going to kind of even out here, but a Hallow Terror onto Miro. He's getting fully dotted up here. Does he have his Cloak of Shadows available is the question, but a Deep Freeze on his Zeepai. He has that Shaman. He does not have Shamanistic available. Miro in a lot of trouble though. He gets Guardian there at the last second. It's going to be able to keep him alive, but he gets Cycloned on it. Really a nice Cyclone by Minpoke there, and a Hex onto Hynix. He's not going to be able to get out of that, but Knee's doing a great job healing up through that LSD pressure.
Yeah, definitely a very scary moment there for Miro, getting stuck in that offensive Cyclone. I love watching offensive Cyclones like that. Really great play out of Minpoke there. There's another Cyclone onto Miro. Looks like they might be going after Knees a little bit, or just doing a little bit of damage to him. Doesn't look like too much actually happening there. They're both just trying to set back up here. Hynix now just sort of running around, trying to build up icicles. It just seems like both teams are trying to recover as much as they can.
Yeah, the LSD definitely has the advantage at this point. Mimpoike obviously having his trinket available, and there's no blind on the RMP. So they're going to have to find something creative here to push through here because they're in a lot of trouble. Hynix dipping to about half HP. He's doing an excellent job with his mana this game, but Miro just taking so much damage. He's got that feint up, but it doesn't seem to matter. The lava bursts are flying on him. He's going to have to stay on this pillar. He's going to put Zeepie into the full kidney, though, and a nice deep freeze onto Walrix with a full fear. The Shadow Dance coming out. He's going to get instantly back onto Zeepie here. He's taking so much damage. Shamanistic Rage maybe too late. He's gonna have to gate out of here, but he gets topped off instantly by the mushroom. Full polymorph onto Mimpoike, but again, Hynix using that ice block offensively. We're gonna have to see if they can punish that, but full dots onto Miro and to Hynix, but there's no crowd control on the knees in the time being. But once again, Mimpoike with those stamina gems, he really doesn't have the raw healing power that he normally would with those intellect gems, so it's definitely noticeable when they're connecting to Zeepie. But we're gonna have to see if the LSD is going to be able to close the game out here. They're definitely at the advantage right now. There's no ice blocks available for Hynix for 40 seconds. A full fear landed onto Miro, a nice Shadow Fury on the knees, and Hynix. A full fear landed as a result out of that. The Chain Lightnings are flying from Zeepie. He's just doing so much nature damage right now to Hynix. Root onto Miro. They're just rotting out here, but nice placement of that Ring of Frost is preventing them from pushing in. But a Howl of Terror landed, a clone onto knees. Hynix might just go down right now. A half clone onto knees. Out of that, he's going to go down, man. 30,000 HP. The life swap barely coming out before that last fear DR. An MCS on a Hynix, but they're switching it around into Zeepie. The smoke bomb comes out. Will he be able to recover? He cannot. Gateway. Ironbark and Snarling word out up to about half HP. A Shadow Fury onto Miro. He's got Shadow Blades up. A blinded polymorph onto Mimpoike. Has no trinket available. Dipping to about half HP. Hynix going to ice block out of that Hex once again. But Zeepie going to gateway out of there back to the safety of his room. He should be able to recover here, but needs in a lot of trouble. A Tranquility coming out from Mimpoike to avoid any crowd control in that room. Knees not dotted right now, but at half HP. Miro and Hynix just taking the time to recover back here. Cheap shot onto Walrix. Defensive Ring of Frost once again gets Shadow Furied though. Knees potentially into a full fear. Nice Spectral guys on the Shadow Fury. It's going to avoid the fear for now, but Miro into a full Cyclone, or Miro into a full Cyclone. Hynix is in a lot of trouble here. He has no blocks available. Again, choosing to block the Hex. Will he be able to persevere through this? I'm not sure. A full Howl of Terror onto knees. He has no way out of that. MCS onto Hynix. He's in a lot of trouble here, but a nice kidney onto Zeepie. Deep Freeze Poly onto Mimpoike. He gets it off. There's no trinket available. Shadow Dance coming out, but as I say that, Hynix dipping incredibly low. Zeepie choosing to play safe, though. He's just going to gateway out, realizing that Mimpoike is in full CC. Miro into the Poly, into the fear there. Hynix dipping to about half HP. He's fully dotted. He's rotting pretty hard, but Miro getting the re-stealth amongst all of that chaos. Again, the LSD is going to be able to even out here as the Demon Soul is popped, but a full fear landed onto Mimpoike, gets tremored. Nice tremor by Zeepie there, but Walrix in quite a bit of danger here. A full Hex onto Hynix. He's not going to block that, but the cloak there from Miro, I'm not exactly sure what he cloaked there or the reasoning. He wasn't going aggressive, and he didn't seem to be in that much trouble, but a triple Shadow Fury, potentially a triple Howl of Terror here. He gets MCS before it can land. Again, a nice defensive Ring of Frost, but it gets counterspelled by Walrix. Amazing counterspell by him. Full clone onto knees, though. Hynix is not out of the woods here. He's in a lot of danger if they can continue the crowd control on the knees.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the aggression is all that's really saving the RMP at this point. Hynix taking so much damage, dipping really super low, trying to get that Ring of Frost back out. It feels like he's going to be safe for the moment, but yeah, I really feel like the aggression is all that's really saving them. Every time it seems like they're about to die, they manage to force Zeepie to pull back or risk dying himself. And it's sort of the only thing that's really keeping them alive in this particular match at this point in time. Looking like they're just trying to. No, there's the Hex onto Hynix. Miro taking a little bit of damage. He's going to get into a half clone, and yeah, just trying to recover as much as they can. Trying to find a good opportunity to put some more burst out.
Yeah, but the trinkets are available for Mimpoike and Zeepie, so they're going to be safe for that blind. But the blind goes out anyway. Stormlash Totem thrown down, but he gets kidneyed on it. He's got full hots now, but the blind's still sitting on Mimpoike. He's choosing to sit that. Knees is going to trigger the fear, but into another one. The entire RMP is rotting here. Shamanistic Rage and Ironbark overlapped onto Zeepie just to keep him alive, but Hynix is going to go down.
Yeah, still 15 seconds on his block at that point. Miro's going to go down now as well. That's going to be it. Waiting for dampening. Had an amazing run in this, but welcome to EU. Able to get some revenge here and take this series 2-1.
Yeah. Unfortunately for the RMP here, they don't go home with nothing. They are going to be taking 300 euros to their name, obviously showing that they are all talented players going up against one of the best LSDs, if not one of the best LSD in the world at the moment. So showing that they've got guns, man. They've got skills. They can go with the best of them, proving in the preliminary qualifiers as well, coming first place there. Definitely a team to watch out for coming here with the Blizzard Invitationals coming out soon. I really look forward to see what they can do. I really hope they stay positive about it because I think they performed excellently in the tournament.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run there from Waiting for Dampening, and they do still take third place and that 300 euro prize. So congratulations to them. They more than deserve it. That was fantastic play from them. Just getting sort of stuck up against one of the best LSDs in the game. And LSD is a comp that's going to do really super well against an RMP if they can survive that opener no matter what. So just when you're up against one of the best ones in existence, what are you going to do? You're going to win 300 euros apparently.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst situation for them. I would be very content if I was them. Definitely showing off their coordination, their playing ability there in this tournament. I really look forward to seeing them in the future. And again, I hope that they don't take that loss to heart because that was amazing play. So if they're listening to me, I hope that they keep going. I hope they stay together as a team because I'm looking forward to seeing them in the future. But we're going to be taking a quick break here to talk about the Pro Game X. If you want to start us off on that, lore.
Yeah, for sure. So if you head over to the ProGameX website, you can sign up, set yourself up for World of Warcraft. Click this WoW icon in the upper right, and you can get to this site here. And there's lots of services that are available here. They do a lot of coaching that shows up here. These go fast, so you're going to want to keep an eye on the services page as much as possible if you're interested in it. But it basically just lets you play with the pros. They're going to teach you everything that they can about how to play your character, to the best that you possibly can. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on if that's something that interests you, if you want to be able to play in tournaments like this one.
Okay. I've got a bit of a request from the teams to just take a quick break to make sure that everything's still going well for them. Obviously, you're in a grand final of a tournament. You're going to want some time to think here. But so maybe we could just talk a little bit about this grand final match. Obviously, Blue Laguna's team, the LSD2, undefeated. It hasn't dropped a match this entire tournament, as well as they won the Pro Game tournament last month, I believe. So they're definitely contenders for this. But if there was a team to beat them, obviously this LSD is one of the best in the world. They are the team to do it, one of the teams to do it, in my opinion. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup in my eyes. I give the advantage, though, to the LSD2 simply with the dampening changes, with the Moonkin off healing. They're going to be able to sustain through that because the LSD doesn't have, like a deep freeze ability. It doesn't have that stun, which is really necessary for killing a Moonkin early through that off healing that he has available to him. It's going to be an interesting matchup to watch, and we're just going to make sure that all of these teams are ready to go, prepared, because this is the grand finals. This is it. This is for the big money and the big glory. What do you think, though, Lore?
Yeah, well, I think it's definitely going to be a very interesting matchup. Just to explain this a little bit for anyone who might not be aware, LSD and LSD2, they have the same classes. It's Warlock, Shaman, Druid. In the case of the LSD, which is what Welcome to EU is playing, that's an Elemental Shaman and a Restoration Druid. In the case of Blue Laguna, that is a Restoration Shaman and a Balanced Druid. So we see a Moonkin, an Affliction Warlock, and a Restoration Shaman on that team versus the Elemental Shaman and the Affliction Warlock and Restoration Druid. It definitely is very interesting in terms of how it played. Like that one little change changes so much about how these teams actually play. The LSD2 is going to have so much in the way of dot pressure. They're just going to have so much rot damage going out that it's going to be a little bit more difficult just to be able to deal with that. Even if you can get out of line of sight, get behind a pillar, hide, and try to heal up a little bit, it's going to be more damage coming out on you. But in the case of the LSD with the Elemental Shaman, there's a lot more burst, more regularly, I should say. With the Balanced Druid, they can get those Star Surge procs. They can put out a whole bunch of bursts themselves, but it's something that just happens a lot more frequently with the Elemental Shaman. And they do obviously have the Flame Shock as well, that will tick for some damage. So it's going to be it's an interesting difference in matchup, and it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams can face off against each other. And of course, one other thing to point out here is that Welcome to EU is coming up from the lower bracket to face off against these guys. So they can win this first series. If they win this first best of 3, there will be another best of 3 to determine the actual winner. Just because Blue Laguna has not dropped into the lower bracket this entire time, just a way to be a little bit fair to them and say, okay, everybody gets their second chance. Blue Laguna, you get yours too. So Welcome to EU basically has to win 4 games to Blue Laguna's only 2.
And as I understand, it's going to be a best of 5.
Oh, best of 5.
Not a best of 3.
Okay, so it's 6 games versus 3 then.
Yeah, so they're going to have to win, as you're saying, 6 games. Definitely doable for this team. They have a lot of tournament experience. They've been playing together for a long time on ladder and live. But so has Blue Laguna's team. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be an exciting match. As much as people are, I see in the chat saying LSD, I think it's going to be exciting because both of these teams have been very aggressive as opposed to the way that I would normally expect them to play. Especially a Skitch pushing up a lot in California with the Heart of the Wild. I really don't think, although I could be proven wrong, there's money on the line now. Maybe they're going to go back to their roots and play defensively. But with the dampening kicking in at 5 minutes, it kind of puts a timer on both the teams. So we're going to have to see how they do that. Okay, I need to clarify this. We're going to be playing 1 best of 5 and 1 best of 3, or 2 best of 5s? I need to clarify this. Let's just take a 1-minute break. Let's clarify everything's going on.
Yeah.
The teams obviously have concerns that need to be addressed. So we're just going to take a 1-minute break here, guys. Please stay tuned. This is the grand finals for the ProGameX tournament. And again, thank you all for tuning in.
Yep. Just going to clarify a couple of things in the rules real quick, and we will be right back.
Goes down!
All right, and we are back once again here, about to jump into the ProGameX WoW Arena May 2014 tournament finals here, which will be Blue Laguna playing an LSD2 versus Welcome to EU playing an LSD. We did